Let me say a pleasant morning to each and every one of you gathered here to worship, but especially to our mothers. Do you feel loved, appreciated, and valued so far, mothers? Yes. Amen. Very glad and happy to hear that. Let me thank the minister of this house, Reverend Anthony Chung, my superior and overstudy, for giving me the opportunity not only to learn a lot from him, but to stand before you in this capacity to share this morning. I also want to greet the liturgist, Elder Matthews, the men's fellowship, the musicians, those of you who are visiting for the first time, maybe second or third time, my astute roommate, Lauriston, and most especially the mothers. Mothers, you are the stars of today, and not just today alone, but for the rest of your lives. Amen? Amen. What you mean to us is more than we can ever say or imagine. Mother's Day for me is a time of the year I always look forward to, because my mother and I, we are always in a tug of war for Mother's Day. The reason for that is she is a Mother's Day gift, as well as I am a Mother's Day gift. Her birthday is today, and mine is tomorrow. Right. And so we're always wrestling whose birthday is going to fall on Mother's Day. So last year was mine, this year is hers. And last night we had a wonderful video chat. She's in the Bahamas, as most of you should know. We were talking for some time. I haven't seen her in about 10 years since I migrated here to Jamaica. I'm hoping that'll be a reality this year though. And so we had a wonderful chat. She always loved to see her son. She's just so wooed by her son. Sometimes she called me her husband. And she was telling me that, I look so handsome and her son is so fine. And I said, Mommy, that's because I look just like you. And the conversation was over. She was more than happy and elated. But mothers, we want to praise God for you today. We want to celebrate with you today as we make you feel loved, as we make you feel appreciated and valued. Now, I'm sure most of you who are regular members here know that preachers usually preach from up there. But I've asked Reverend Chung to allow me the liberty to speak to you from here because I can be a very excitable, what other adjective should I use? Hyperactive, can't and toddy, Presbyterian. And I'm not sure if that box is going to hold me this morning. But I want to speak to you from the sermonic text, the second reading, Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 to 28. And the sermon is entitled, A Mother's Love. I'm going to ask one of the musicians if they can just allow me to use one of their cordless mics for the time being. Matthew 15, verses 21 through to 28. I know in most of your study Bibles you would see this heading as either a Gentile shows her faith, a Syrophoenician woman's faith, and various other things. But if I were to restate this section of scripture today, I would call it a mother's love. You see, like the songwriter Church, who says there's no love in this world like a mother's love. I do believe that with respect to this life, no other love would be able to compare to a mother's love. The sacrifices they would make, the things they would do, they would bend over backwards until their spinal cords turn to elastic to do what they must for their children. And so Jesus, after having a long discussion with the Pharisees near Jerusalem regarding what defiles a man, And he having explained it, and they seeking to kill him as usual because of the pungency of his statements. The Bible tells us perhaps to get a break, he removed himself from his territory and he went to the regions of Tyre and Sidon. And the Bible says in verse 22, and behold, a woman of Canaan came from the region and she started crying out to him. The synoptic passage in Mark 7 tells us that she was a Syro-Phoenician by birth, and she lived in that region. This is significant, church, because we will discover that Jesus' 3.5-year ministry was more solely focused on Jerusalem and the surrounding territories of Israel. So he removed to get some appeasement, to get some rest and relaxation in the borders of Tyre and Sidon, away from the Judean crowds, away from the constant hustle and bustle, away from the constant argumentation and drama with the religious leaders of the day. And the Bible tells us that somehow this mother heard about Jesus. Now, we're not particularly sure how she heard about him, but what we see from the text is that somehow she knew he was the solution to her problem at home. Perhaps she heard how he had raised Lazarus from the dead. Perhaps she heard how he was restoring sight to the blind and removing all of these different types of demons from people. Perhaps she heard how he was curing people of leprosy, and having suffered with her daughter for so long, she resorted to asking Jesus for help. We can imagine if she was like the woman with the issue of blood, all her money would have run dry, taking her daughter from one doctor to the next. She perhaps would have fasted. She perhaps would have prayed. She perhaps would have done all that she could have done, make all sorts of bushti, but somehow nothing seems to work. But she heard there's a man called Jesus. And she heard that he was in her vicinity. And so the Bible tells us, despite the fact that she was about to break social customs, you see, when a child or there's a problem at home, it's usually customary for the men to accost Jesus or to go look help. And so Jairus' daughter, for example, when she was sick, Jairus, as the man of the home, the protector, the priest, the provider, the initiator, he was the one who went and sought help. When the nobleman's son was sick, he did the same thing. We see in Matthew chapter 17 with the man whose son was filled with demons for some time, who were trying to kill him by drowning him and burning him in the fire. He was the one who sought help. And so by the fact that this woman has to go out to seek help for herself and to accost Jesus, we can reasonably assume that she was a single mother. And she's tired of watching her daughter suffer demonic oppression. She's tired of the pain. She's tired of the tears. She's tired of watching her little girl that she would have carried for 9 months. Now growing up cannot have a normal life, cannot have normal decency, cannot function properly and effectively. This mother's heart went out to her daughter. So when she went to Jesus, she immediately said to him, have mercy on me. Above asking for recognition, above asking for a husband, above asking for food, church, above asking for a new spike heel or a new handbag. I wanted the ladies listening to me. This woman asked Jesus for mercy. Can I submit to you, church? Can I submit to you, mothers? Above the daily necessities of life, you need the mercy of God. Above sex, young people, you need the mercies of God. Above driving a big high-class vehicle, above wearing fine clothing, above obtaining a PhD or being the best professional in your field, you need the mercies of God. I don't know if you're like me who listen to some positive contemporary songs, but Version has a song that I like very much. Anytime when I feel like gospel is not speaking to my soul as it should, and I want to just build a little whole of vibes and to think of the goodness of God on my life, I listen to Version. The mercy of God, the mercy of God, the mercy of God. Know how man I go through. Sometimes we're going through so much hell. Sometimes we're enduring so much hardships and trials. We have to stop and really think about it. Had it not been for the mercy of God, mothers, you would have lost your mind. Had it not been for the mercy of God, you would have done something crazy. Had it not been for the mercy of God, you would have given up on life already. You would have dashed the picnic them way. Can I talk to you this morning? I'm Jamaican now, so give me a little license. Had it not been for the mercy of God, where would you be? This mother needed the mercy of God for her child. So she went to Jesus and said, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, because I have a daughter at home and she's severely demon possessed. And I've tried everything. I've spent all the money that I've had. I've taken her to doctor this and to doctor that, but no one is able to help her. But I have heard that you are more than able. You are more than capable to help her. Mothers, when all has failed you, when there's no one to turn to, when the money has run dry and your heart is broken and there's nothing else you can do for your children, I want you to know today, you can try Jesus. You can go to him. He sees the tears you cry. He sees the sweat you're exuding. He understands the pain and the frustration. And when you come to Jesus, he will help your situation.
Amen.
But what's interesting, church, is that the Bible says when she said that to him, he answered her not a word.
Mercy.
The synoptic text in Mark 7 tells us she kept on asking him.
Oh, Lord.
And Jesus played like he didn't even hear her.
Persistence.
So she realized, oh, Jesus, you want to play fool like you not hear me? Alright, me I go bother your disciples. And so when Jesus maintained his silence, she turned to the disciples.
Persistence.
And she kept gnawing them.
Yeah.
This mother, her love will cause her to be persistent. This mother was not about to take no for an answer. Are you listening to me? And sometimes, mothers, you're praying to God morning, noon, and night. You are fasting. You are coming to church. You are faithfully returning tithes and offering, and you're offering your service to the church, irrespective of the task, whether big or small. You are ready, willing, and able to do it. And sometimes that which you need most, it seems like God is not listening. It seems like God not business boot you. It seems like God is no longer on the throne. It is then that your persistent faith ought to make you to knock those who should be closest to him. This mother said, well, you are not going to answer me. Perhaps it's something I'm doing wrong. I'm going to bother those who are closest to you. So mothers, when you need help, when you need assistance and it seems like God is not listening, it seems like God no business with you, it seems like he's taking a vacation, you need to grab the pastor by his necktie. Hello somebody, you should have a close connection with God. If God not hear me, he must can hear you. You need to knock the first elders. I wonder if you're listening to me. You need to find the musicians. You need to find the praise team who are singing of the goodness and the mercy and the power of God. If God will not hear me, he must can hear one of these people. If you gotta find the
deacon, a priori, somebody must be able to get to him for you. This mother was determined, whatever the situation is, however I'm treated, Jesus, you will hear me today. You will answer me today. If I can't come straight to you, one of your disciples must be able to put in a word for me.
Yes. Link me up, man.
Oh, yes. God seems like he's distant. He's not listening. But your child needs help. Find somebody in the church. Find somebody in the community. Find somebody who perhaps should be closer to God than you are, and get the help you need. And when Jesus finally responds, he responds in a way in Jamaica we will say him fiesty. Jesus says it's not good to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And even before we get there, he tells her, I'm not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And then he says to her, I can't take the children's bread and dash it to the dog then. Jesus literally called this woman a dog. You see, in biblical history, Jews were humans, Gentiles were dogs and unclean creatures. And so you could make better sense of Acts chapter 10 when God showed Peter in the vision of the great sheet let down and all the animals, snakes and rats and four-footed beasts and creatures and unclean birds and Peter. And God says to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. Peter says, not so. I have never eaten anything common or unclean. And then we get to understand in verses 28 to 30 that the vision was symbolic for the Gentile men and Cornelius that whose house Peter was going. You see, Jews did not have much relations with Gentiles. They were dogs. They were unclean creatures because of their diets. As a matter of fact, their very land and homes were considered to be unclean. So this was a popular and cultural saying. So when Jesus says to her, I must not take the bread of the children and to give it to the dogs, he was literally saying to her, my mission right now is confined to Judaism. I cannot get diverted with Gentile issues. And dog here, beloved, is not the regular Greek word, koun. That speaks to the big breed dogs, like the pit bulls and the Rottweilers and the bull mastiffs and those big expensive dogs. The one that could guard your house and you can be proud of.
Mongrel.
That's not that here. The diminutive here little dogs, the Greek kunarion, literally means a small little dog, a pet mongrel. A little mongrel them would just have a lot of bark and no bite. Jews consider Gentiles to be half-bred mongrels. It wouldn't be so bad if she was a big breed, regular dog, but Jesus says it. You are a little mongrel. Mothers and anyone here, has anybody ever made you feel like you are nothing but a little mongrel? Has anybody ever spoken to you like you are nothing but a little mongrel? Your name is not one of the big names in society. You're not come from nowhere. Some of you may be somewhere now, but you can't fool me with that. Many of you, like myself, not come from nowhere. Hello? You may be eating good right now when you're sitting in your nice fine job and you can twang and speak the Queen's English and you can put yourself together well. But I know quite well that many of you, like myself, not come from nowhere. Nothing but a little mongrel. But the grace and mercy of God has taken you, it has fashioned you, and is making you into what you are now. Jesus says to her, you are a little mongrel, and I can't take the good, expensive bread of the children and give it to the dogs. This should have discouraged her. This should have turned her away. First he ignored even hearing that she was around. And when he did respond, he sounded like he was fierce. But this woman was determined. I'm talking about a mother's love. This mother was determined. You could ignore me. You could appear to diss me. But whatever it takes, I will endure. I will persist. Because I have a child who's at home sick. And I've done everything. I can't get her no help. But I heard you can help her. So diss me. Ignore me. But I'm not gonna let you go like Jacob until you bless me. Is there any mother in here who gotta wrestle with God, who gotta be persistent, who gotta endure? You're tired of the abuse, you're tired of the neglect, you're tired of the helplessness, but somehow for the betterment of your child you gotta push, you gotta fight, you gotta endure, you gotta ignore, you gotta go on, you gotta suffer hunger, you gotta suffer pain, the sun gotta beat your brow, you gotta go on and do what you must, because your love is greater than your discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
Your love for your child is greater than the shaming, the ignoring, and all that these people are putting you through. So she responded, yes, Lord, but the little dogs, they eat the crumbs. She said, and the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Is anybody in here living off crumbs? The woman recognized that she is not from the stock or tribes of Israel. She's a Gentile, undeserving, unworthy. She's a little mutt, a little mongrel. But she puts her pride aside. She endures the social stigma and all that she has to endure. Happily eat crumbs. Is there anybody in here who's had to be living off crumbs? You gotta dash away your pride to yam little crumbs or eat little crumbs. You gotta put the hoity-toity aside. You gotta back off the pristine shirt and tie. You gotta put aside your stooshness. I wonder if the church listened. You gotta remove the sophisticated doctor's glasses. You have to allow the hair to get unkempt and disheveled sometimes and humble yourselves for the betterment of your child to eat crumbs. Is there any mother in here who's had to be living off crumbs to make her children survive? Some of you are eating educational crumbs. Hello? You couldn't afford to go to college. You couldn't afford university. You can't afford to climb the educational ladder. So you gotta eat crumbs. Is there anybody here who have to be eating clothing crumbs? You can't afford the three-piece suit. You can't afford the fine dresses. To go get your nails done and your hair done and all of these things. You have to young crumbs. You have to humble yourselves and take the hand-me-downs. Or you gotta wait till the stores go on some massive sale where things that cost $300, $700 to buy. Because if you ever dare try overspend when it costs $2,000, kids can't go to school in the morning. The bills can't be paid. You will go to bed hungry. I said, is there anybody in here who's been sustaining themselves of crumbs?
My God. Come on, preacher.
You've had to endure vehicular crumbs. You've had to endure correct crumbs.
Walk foot, sir.
Societal crumbs. Ecclesiastical crumbs. In the church, certain things you're not called to do, you can't do because, you're not so good with the English. Your tithe probably not that heavy. You are not connected connected with certain people in the church, so you gotta endure crumbs. But may I tell somebody, humble yourselves and endure crumbs until God can give you the full loaf. I said, humble yourselves and enjoy crumbs until God can give you the full loaf rather. So if you can't take no big part in church, like David, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of God, eating crumbs, than to dwell in the tents of wickedness, irrespective of the crumbs you're living off. Like this woman, endure your crumbs, endure your hardships, endure the trials, ignore the shame, ignore the name calling, because what you're after is much greater than your pride. It's much greater than your reputation. It's much greater than your cute looks. You are trying to help a child. You are molding a child. You are preparing somebody to make differences and changes for the future. So whatever crumbs this woman had to eat, she humbled herself, ate it, just to get the help she needs for her child. I'm sure like myself, I mean, some of you may be out of this category, but those of you who are still there, you can correlate with me. Have you ever feel like your life just stuck one place? It's like the whole other crumb in my youth, my father, man. Like every hardship crumb just define you. No matter what you do, it's not going anywhere. No matter what investments you make, it now work out. Irrespective of what you try and how you pray, it seems like things are not happening for you as you should. And to add insult to injury, you're watching your peers advance in life.
Mercy.
You're watching people eat good. Them oxtail and them Trenton and True Juice and Vitamalt and crayfish. You're still there, y'all still here? You're still here? People are enjoying their big 5-star dinner, but at night for Sunday dinner, if you get a little mackerel and white rice, you better thank God. And more while you can't find nothing to wash it down with, other than little ribs. I wonder if you're still listening to me. It seems like your life is just full of crumbs. You're just stuck one place. But can I tell somebody, if that's you, wait on the Lord. In Psalm 27:14, David says, wait on the Lord. Be of good courage. He's going to strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. In Isaiah chapter 40, the prophet reminds us, those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. You may be sustaining yourselves and your family of crumbs right now, but wait on God. Because very soon He's going to give you loaves. Hello? It was David who says, he anoints my head with oil till my cup overflow. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Not for one day, not for 2 weeks, not for 3 years, not for 20 years, but all the days of my life. And I shall dwell in God's house forever, church. So right now I'm in my crumb season. Right now I gotta humble myself and enjoy the meager crumbs that fall to the floor. But if I'm persistent, if I'm faithful, if I endure, mothers endure, God is gonna give you a whole loaf till you won't have room to store and enjoy it. So when she said this, Jesus answered and said to her, woman, great is your faith. I've not found this level of faith, not even in Israel. A mother's love will not let her give up amidst denial, turn down, hardships and trials, a mother's love will propel her to continue to fight, to endure, to ignore, to do whatever she must, because she has a child to take care of. If she got to eat crumbs for a little bit, she will do that, because the love that she has for her child is worth it. After she proved her faith, Jesus commended her and gave her exactly what she needed. The scripture says when she went back home, her daughter was healed, the demon was gone, and she's lying on the bed, cool, calm, and connected. Is there anybody out there who's trusting God for something? Is there a mother out there who's trusting God to come through for her child? You fought, you've prayed, you've endured, you sweat, you cried. But God says, be faithful, be persistent, hold on, He will come through for you. If you're trusting Him to see your children through school, He's going to come through for you. If you're trusting Him to break some generational curses where the family just stuck one place, can't move, not get nowhere in a life, not accomplishing anything, God is more than able to remove. Has gone to college or university yet? Not a BA. It's been over 10 years I'm fighting to break this apparent generational curse. One situation after the next, even when I get help, something goes wrong and it has to be stopped. Things get turned down. Scholarships never come through fully. And I've watched people I had to be teaching when I was in university. I teach them Greek and hermeneutics and things because I was always on top of the classes. Them then move on, get their masters, doing PhD now, and I'm still stuck fighting with a BA. Married with 2 kids, now I know what wife you have to bill and foot everything on her own. You talk about mother, that woman is more than a wife to me. She's a mother too. One day you'll meet her. And I have to fight, I have to push. Because I'm determined this year's cycle has to break. Somebody has to remove this apparent cloud. Mothers, are you fighting for the betterment of your children? Are you fighting to see them move out of the ghetto, move out of the bad environment, to go on in life, get a vocation, get a degree, become a business owner, become whatever in life that they choose to be? Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, push, endure, struggle, fight, do what you must, because God will honor your faith. God will honor your sacrifice.
Oh, yes, amen.
Faith is substance of the things hoped for, evidence of the things not seen. Mothers, your love will not allow you to give up. So as I bring this message to a close, I want the mothers to just stand to your feet for me. Mother or expectant, God knows the struggles you're enduring, the pain, the frustration, the hardships, and sometimes you want to give up. Sometimes you feel like you can't go another step. But today, I'm going to ask Elder Matthews to offer a special prayer for the mothers. God knows it's rough sometimes. It's difficult. It's tiring. It's pressuring. Hold on, mothers. Hold on. God has placed a seed of love within you that will allow you to do some crazy stuff, accrue some Superman strength to make sure that you come through for your children. When your faith has been tested and tried, your God will come through for you. We love you, mothers. We appreciate you. And we ask God to continue to keep you to be the molders and shapers of futures, lives, and brighter tomorrows. God bless you.